We get to start? Let's face it, we're starting, let's be honest. Welcome. Let's start with the easy one. Quick show of hands. How many of you are not local to this general neck of the heat wave neck of the woods? Awesome. Well, welcome to Cyber Week. Welcome to the IoT Village, and thank you very much for coming. It's freaking awesome to be here again as well. All right, so we're going to have some fun. Entire IoT track today. We've got some amazing folks doing some speaking and some discussions. If there's a space next to you, stick your hand up in the air. We're going to do like in the US, there's Southwest. If there's a space next to you, put your hand up. Make friends, look to the left, look to the right. Jump in, grab a seat, share whiskey. So I'm going to take literally no more than like 5, maybe 10 minutes on just this one, and then we will hand over and go from there. So this is what we're up to today. Come in, grab a seat, sit down, stick a stare. Quick 2 seconds on what I'm up to. Mobility and smart cities. We're going to run through a whole bunch of fun stuff on this one as well. The digital health area, that one's going to be, I'm looking forward to that one because I get to ask a whole bunch of really awkward questions. And Bo and a bunch of the crew are here as well. Defending the IoT connected systems, and then just some closing remarks. I don't know who's doing the closing remarks. We've got to figure that one out. We'll figure that one out during the day. You might be stuck with me again. All right, so brief intro. Who has not seen me yak and have fun and talk before? Bunch of you? All right, this is the civilized slide. A B-side later, I have the uncivilized slide. I'm very fortunate or unfortunate that I've broken most things with wings, wheels, tracks, tires, fins, and gotten yelled at for the fun of them, including space and non-space-based stuff. And now over at the Attivo Networks crew, we're actually doing a whole bunch of fun, crazy stuff on the deception side of the world. So the whole logic is, as the attacker, we're going to get in. So the next question is what the hell do you do about it? And then doing a bunch of fun stuff with human consciousness and making ships roll over. And as you might have noticed, I have a little bit of a whiskey aficionado thing going on. So, and that'll be with us. So a little history lesson. So it's okay. Is it just so we don't kill people on the stairs? We are going to need the air down as well. Otherwise, we're going to deep fry in here. All right, so a little bit of fun. In the beginning, depends entirely upon your theological disciplines. This is about where we started. This, unfortunately, is now where it goes to. Like, holy shit, there's a lot of us. What the hell's going on? And then at the same time as we went from, what is that beepy shit? Make it go away. Shoot it, taser it. Is it legal to taser in Israel? Yes. I noticed on Wednesday when the boss is coming in, apparently you're not allowed to bring tear gas in. Everything else apparently is good, just not tear gas. So at the same time as we grew from this, beginning to where we are now, we went basically, oh yeah, by the way, we got to this point as well. We're like, oh shit, we might not actually be alone. And then we had this. This is my favorite one with Douglas Adams, which gives me 5 seconds to take a quick glass of whiskey. So along the way, as we were doing this, we decided on figured out the communication standpoint, which is where we started. We're like, hey, we can communicate. We know what this stuff is. We see the entire spectrum of communication. This is really awesome. We can use this, which unfortunately turned into this complete mess. And we're like, holy shit, it's everywhere. And then we were like, you know what? We can manage this. We can actually control this. We know what the hell we're doing. So we've invented these bloody things. How many of you walked around with one of these or the early version that had the brick that was attached to it? And didn't we feel cool? Yay! So then the problem is, it then proceeded and we ended up with all of this. And this is the landscape that we're dealing with today. This is the IoT hellish landscape that we have to try to unconvolute. This is, I get the easy part. I get to do the intros. Everybody in the front row here has to explain this to you. So let's take a step back and go, what the hell does this actually mean? And we'll do it simple. This is simple. 3 easy ways of looking at it. We put, and we have, as it says, we're closing in on 8 billion people on this sodding planet. By the way, by 2020 or so, we'll have about 6 billion connected people. So makes life a little interesting. We've shrunk the world through technology. We've arguably shrunk the universe through technology. and yet we can't talk to each other effectively. I come from the land of orange-haired idiots. We know what bad communication is. And then what did we do? We're like, we're going to give everybody an IoT device. So what have we decided to do? We have between 20 and 30 billion of these devices that we're going to hand to this connected population, arguably by the end of 2020. So when we think about this, this is kind of how we feel, especially in the DevSec, the DevSecOps, and the IT side of the world. We're sitting there going, we aren't able to deal with what we have today. How the heck are we going to deal with tomorrow? The same tactics that we use, the defensive tactics, the tactics of just saying, hey, let's just put another firewall, an IDS, and that shit's not worked. We know that. So how do we look at the future, and where do we look at the future? And then we keep talking about this stuff. We keep talking about security. If anybody in here has the ability to actually measure security, I would love to know about it. Because it's an abstract thing that we just can't do. We can measure safety and we can measure risk, but we can't measure security. And we keep talking about it all the time, but we talk about it in our language. Quick show of hands. How many people in here are in the IT and the InfoSec space? DevOps, several. Okay, the rest of you are not in our world? Thank you. Everybody who is in our world, talk to somebody who's not. And talk in a language that they understand, not a language we're comfortable with. And the same thing, we talk about safety, not security. So, this is about where we are. So what do we do about it? Well, that's got to be our future. Please notice the various different grayscales and colors and tones, and this is the logic. We have to collaborate. This cannot be just security, just IT. It's got to be business, it's got to everybody. It's got to be people here talking and working among each other, and quite honestly, absolutely irrespective of any blasted focuses or anything you want to put in the way. Because we're not going to deal with this on our own. This is what I love this one. It's true. We came in on different ships. We're all facing the same problems. From a business, from an IT, from a technology, from a development, and I broke my B-sides thing. So, that's kind of what I'll end with. And that's the final slide. So that's the intro from my side. And I'm kind of really setting the scene for everybody here and all of you. This is interactive. We've crammed people into this room. Hopefully the AC cuts in a minute, because I don't know about you, but it's almost as warm out as it is in here now. I'm already sweating. My challenge to you is ask questions. Everybody in the front here, a lot of folks have traveled from all over the place. We're here to help. We're here to answer questions. We're here to impart as much knowledge as we can in 15-minute chunks, basically. Get us a lunch, get us I'm setting all of you guys up, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Ask questions. The only way that we're going to solve these problems is by sharing the knowledge. So that's my challenge to you guys. All right, so that's me over. I get to step back. Who am I handing off to? To Mark? You're up next. So I get to hand back to Mark. So give him a round of applause for coming after, please.